Mike Burnside, high performance specialist, CSEP specialist. I'm just going to show you an array of exercises that I've done that have been helping me with some lower back issues, some hip issues, and pelvis. So here I'm just starting this video to show you some complexity, but to tell you the truth, almost everything merits because there is so much complexity. Um, every exercise that you're going to see here could stand alone as a video with a lot of explanation of how to do it, the biomechanics, and so here I'm just basically, I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to occasionally comment. But I'm lucky I have this outdoor playground just a block away. And it has all kinds of seating, railings, stairs. And in a moment you'll see playground equipment for both children and adults. So again, I'm not going to try and explain it here in this video, but this particular one is actually very complex, and it has a lot to do with me bracing the back of my thighs, or not my thighs, my lower legs are braced to the bench. So over a number of months, for a couple of years now, my repertoire has gradually increased, and I've been able to use these railings, for example, and I'm doing what are called multi-joint movements, positions, and so mostly, for example, in this one, I'm working on hip, pelvis, lower back, but you can see I'm moving my shoulders as well, and certain lower leg positioning is involved as well. Twisting the spine. Notice I'm bracing my knees to the bench. Here, an altogether different exercise, I'm actually lifting my bum a little bit off the bench, engaging my glutes in a very, very big way. Here again, bracing my knees. I'm isolating certain muscles. Again, the relationship of the hips, pelvis, lower back. Obviously twisting the lower back. And also stretching the shoulders. Pinning or bracing positioning of the knees has implications for the kind of stretch and muscle activation in the hips, pelvis, lower back. In fact, almost the majority of the exercises I could just keep repeating. Hips, pelvis, lower back. So I've got my leg pinned in between the railing and the top of the bench here. So I could be driving my knee upwards, or I could be driving my foot downwards. So again, different opposing muscles of the hips. There I am. I'm in, I'm braced. So again, I could be driving my feet down, which means the thigh is going down, or I could be driving my thigh up against the railing. Multiple positioning. So in terms of athletics, this would be a key one for running. Now, this idea of bracing, not many, I don't think all that many people are bracing their ribs like this. So I'm catching the bottom of my rib cage. So now my ribs are actually being pulled. And that allows me to isolate deep inside the iliopsoas, the laborum. And so by isolating them, I then apply different sort of bar work, hip motions. A lot going on. This is the kind of sophistication that rehabbing dancers, as well as all types of high performance athletes, there you can see how I pin different locations of the ribs and apply these mobility motions for the hips, the pelvis, the lower back. This positioning would especially be stretching the laborum and a lateral aspect of the psoas. Then I wrap my rib cage even further towards the side, the back of the side, under the rib cage. So here I'm working on pretty intense resistance exercise for the lower leg, hip, pelvis, lower back. Notice I'm actually wrenching, or I'm twisting my thigh. So I'm really focusing on the rotators. Here I'm actually doing a very high intensity semi squat. So it's not a deep squat. And I'm up on the balls of my feet, pulling really, really hard on those bicycle stands. Stair work is a big part of my programming. Multi-directional, different levels of depth of squats, added rotations. See at the end there where I rotate. So I'm basically covering all of the different groupings and combinations of muscles by doing different directions of the same theme. So the theme being deep squat, multi-directions. So as time progressed, I went from conventional, very, just basic exercises to the more athletic stuff that you just saw me doing, the grapevine. So here I have a very particular, I've located one area that needed a lot of specific attention were my hip flexors, my iliopsoas, but here more specifically the iliacus muscle. And the different positions I'm going in and out of allow me to work the different aspects of that particular iliac muscle. Hangs with an emphasis on very attenuated or focused attention on the pelvis and the hips and the lower back. Here I'm purposely bringing the lower back right up against that swing post. See, I'm pushing my abdominal muscles well backwards so that I'm making my lower back very flat. Notice I'm rotating the back leg there. I find the hangs, although it's obviously emphasizing the ability to hang with the shoulders, I can really get a stretch in the spine while doing lower back emphasis, different hip positioning, and the pelvic muscles, which are involved in all of these different positions. Twisting. That's a toughie. So hanging allows the spine to lengthen. Now here you're seeing a real compound, a multi-joint exercise. I would call that a higher level exercise, definitely a gymnastic type exercise. So the point being for all of this is that as I became more proficient at the relatively elementary exercises, and I did consistent single joint, more specific rehab exercises, the multi-joint started to come in more and more into play, and then it got to the point where even doing certain types of activities helped complement some of the problems I had in my hips and my pelvis and lower back. No symptoms, and pretty well able to do any type of activity that I wish to pursue. And yeah, just happy to be able to share this with you and look at the other offerings I have, and you'll get more and more acquainted with what type of programming I do. Thanks.